them in place to keep us in chains. By show of hands, who else is sick and tired of the same? 1% trying to keep us small, trying to keep us from getting out. Minimizing the struggles they've caused, saying we're not working hard enough.
We really should stop this fighting. Otherwise, we'll miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go. And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Suck It. I am the great and powerful King of Kings, Prince of all that is awesome, Derek, joined as always by the beautiful Mayor of Maryland, the bitch of Belgium, and the Queen of Kansas City, Miss Kat Daniels. How are you today, my love?
I am well. How are you?
You know what? I am on cloud 9.
And why is that?
Because I have successfully started an internet war.
Aw, congratulations.
You know, but we'll go more into that in a minute. But first, because it started negatively, but now it's turned into something completely different, and I wanted to address it and see what your thoughts are and kind of talk more about it. But first,
Okay.
How is everything going on with you? How's your week been?
Productive. I actually, I started, well, I started this, we got a coupon in the mail the other day that was for, it's called C/O, and it's called Care Of. And so the website is takecareof.com, and they're not sponsoring or anything, but I'm trying their vitamins and like stuff that they sent me. And it was going super well until today. And I don't know, so today I started having I don't know if it's muscle spasms or heart palpitations, because when I Googled it, muscle spasms can feel like heart palpitations and vice versa. So I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping it's a muscle spasm, like in not my esophagus, but like my diaphragm. Let's hope. So I don't know. I just didn't take any today because that's the only thing new that I've added to my diet or anything like that. But I'm hoping it's not that. But if it clears up, and it doesn't do it for the rest of the day, then I'll probably do it again. I'll probably start on it again tomorrow. But they were doing wonderful for my energy levels. They sent me this thing called Rhodiola. It's RHODIOLA. And that thing is a freaking miracle pill for like my energy and my focus. That was amazing. I hope it's not that, because I really, really need that, because it was doing wonderful things for me.
If it's going on in your chest, it could just be stress. I mean, you're getting ready to move to a whole other country soon.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I had a dream last night that we were in a hotel. So it definitely could be that, because I didn't even realize that I was really as stressed out as I am about the move until I had this dream last night, and I woke up and I was like, oh, hey, I'm freaking the fuck out. But so I had a dream last night that we were in a hotel and we had to get out of the hotel for some reason in 5 minutes. And like, I had to pack my daughter's clothes and stuff, like all her toys, because we were living in the hotel for some reason. And we got like kicked out, and they were like, you have 5 minutes to leave. And I had to pack, like I was helping my husband pack, I was packing up my daughter's things. And then they got there and they showed up, like the manager of the hotel or whatever showed up and was like, all right, you're done, you're out, go. And I didn't have any of my stuff packed. And it was like all of our shit. And so I was freaking out. I was like, no, I need to get the things. Yeah.
What the hell?
Don't
Maybe
know.
it was just a sign of what's gonna, like, you're afraid you're gonna forget shit when you move to there, and the
for
hotel
sure.
room is just is your house, and maybe it's just very surface on that one.
Yeah, because when we get there, we have to spend 2 weeks in a hotel, which I am not looking forward to, by the way.
Okay.
because we have to quarantine, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So super fun shit.
I know, right?
And we have to send 2 cars and 2 dogs. And I'm terrified about trying to fly the dogs in the middle because, like, our little dog can go in the cabin with us. That's not an issue whatsoever. But our big dog cannot. She has to go underneath the plane, and they don't like to fly dogs in the heat like that because it's not temperature controlled under there. And so I don't even know, like, if she can't go, I'm gonna have to have her stay with one of my family members until they can put her on a plane and fly her. And like, flying is traumatic for animals, bro.
Yeah, no.
My dog died last time because because we flew her home.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, so
That's
I'm terrified.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are.
Mhm.
But other than that, how's everything else going? You guys surviving these fucking crazy ass storms?
We haven't really had any.
Really?
We had snow yesterday for the first time in like a week and a half or so, or 2 weeks.
Oh my god, the snow that we had just added on to the snow that we already had from last week. It's been like it's been bad. Like down here it's been bad. Wow, see that's been bad down here. It's been non-stop. Like non-stop. It's crazy, but I love it. I love it, but it's crazy.
My brother lives in Fort Worth, and
I was just gonna say, how's he doing down there?
So he's driving around because he has an FJ Cruiser, so like it can go anywhere and do anything at pretty much any time.
Yeah.
And so he's been driving around delivering bottled water to people who don't have water because all their pipes are bursting. The water supply, like at the actual place that they keep all the water supply, like it's fucking up.
Yep.
The electricity is fucking up because it's not built for extreme cold temperatures. Everything in Texas is built for extreme heat and to keep things cool. I mean, houses, everything. So, I mean, on TikTok, I've seen videos of of like water mains breaking, and like this one lady said, this is why you run your tap in the middle of winter, and she turns and there is it looks like a fire hose is spraying out of her house, out of her front door.
Oh my god.
And then there was another lady who posted a video where I don't know if it was like a house that they don't use a lot or what, but it looked like the dishwasher had overflowed.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that video.
And everything was fucking
frozen. There was a sink full of dishes that was frozen with water. There was ice all along the floor. Yeah, I saw that video. There was ice skating in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. Yeah. But you know what's getting me?
What?
So this is going to kind of roll into everything we're going to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
The Retrumplicans that are blaming this on Biden and the Democrats and the new Green Deal.
So, I believe it was in Texas in the 90s. They said that what they did was they privatized the electricity, and that's what happened.
Well, so Tucker Carlson on who does Tucker Carlson Tonight or whatever it's called on Fox News has been spouting this all week, saying that the Green New Deal has come to Texas and this is what happens and blah 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 blah. Blatant lies, because in 1989 this happened and the Texas electricity people said, "Hey, we need to winterize." They didn't. 2011, same thing happened. And they said, "Hey, we need to winterize," and they didn't. And now the same thing's happened again, and now they're saying Biden. Okay, even if it was even if it was the who doesn't matter who's in office right now. Doesn't matter. Regardless of who was in the office, they've only been in office for less than 30 days.
I know, right?
And had no time to get anything done to affect that much. 80% of that damn state is still covered by coal and oil, but literally the gas lines are frozen. The oil lines are frozen. That's how cold it is there, and they're just there. But nope, it's Biden and Green New Deal. We shouldn't be green.
I don't even think it's passed, has it?
No, it failed on the House floor, so it didn't even pass the House.
So it's not even a thing.
It's not even a thing right now. Yeah, it didn't pass the House of Representatives. It's dead in the water as of right now.
Right.
They're trying to rework it. Does a Green Deal need to come out? Absolutely. Do we need to stop fracking and oil and coal production?
Absolutely.
Slowly but surely, but not
Mm.
immediately. Obviously,
Right.
shit like this would happen all over the country, but it
Mhm.
needs to happen. But the point is, this is how shit starts in this country. One person spouts a lie, and then the sheeple jump
Yeah.
on it and then start jumping shit.
Yeah.
It's getting this is getting out of control.
Yeah. You know, guys, it really takes literally less than 5 seconds to Google something and find your answer. I'm just saying, like, please do your own research. That's the most important part here.
Yeah, and
Do
plus,
your own fucking research.
and
Your
the worst part about it is that the people, yeah, they're not doing their research, but the news source that they go to is the one feeding them these lies.
I know, but you have to look at other things. Like I would consider myself, I guess, a liberal or whatever. But I go and specifically look at Fox News, which is, well, up until the new presidency came in, was traditionally in support of everything fucking Trump did. So I would
They're
go
still
and
very-
specifically seek out the news from them and then just like read between the lines and see what matches up and what doesn't, and then
Correct.
take it for what that is. But
Yeah.
you have to do your own research.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So, this shit is just getting out of control.
For
know,
real.
The stuff that I've seen on the internet and the stuff that I've seen on TikTok and Facebook and Twitter and blah 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 blah, is honestly some of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. And the reason why right now we are not the greatest country in the world. We're not even in the top 10, guys. We are.
I honestly can't even believe that we've been told for so long that we were the greatest country in
not.
the world.
We have one of the
we
worst.
haven't been
We
for
haven't been in a long time.
fucking forever.
Correct. We have one of the worst education systems. We have
Mhm.
the absolute worst healthcare system.
Right.
Our debt and our wealth to poor ratio is some of the worst in the world. This country is run like a business and not a country, and it's
Yeah.
sad because the people are.
It's a capitalistic business.
It's
at that.
very capitalistic. They're all about keeping the rich richer. Like the whole Robin Hood thing.
Yeah. Oh,
People were freaking out because the rich people were losing money.
yeah.
Sorry?
Like, they don't- Right?
Because stuff that we didn't know was going on has been going on for years. I had no idea this kind of stuff was going on, where hedge funds actually place bets on whether or not something's going to do bad or good. And because
Yeah.
they placed a bet that it was going to do bad, the internet said, no, it's not. And
Fuck you guys.
exactly. I didn't realize that was a thing.
I didn't either.
I didn't realize that
And
was
then,
a thing.
and then to have the double standard and the fucking audacity to get pissed off that other people are doing the same shit that you've been fucking doing your whole lives, you can fuck right off. honestly.
They're just mad that people figured it out and now that it's out there. But again,
Right.
the shitstorm that ensued is getting out of control. So let me tell you what I want to talk about this. Let's kind of rewind.
Okay.
So everybody knows by now, because of it's just been a thing. Last Monday, so about 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, I released a video, with a flat earther that
Mm.
sparked a whole shit ton of controversy and a shit ton of hate against me,
Right.
which I welcomed, I wanted, I planned. It was all fine and dandy. However, they started calling out some of my fans, and they started, talking shit about, other things and just being really, really nasty. So I turned off comments for a couple days just to kind of see. Well, then they started going to my other, videos to post comments, and they started coming to my live streams. And I was like, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm going to turn comments back on, and I'm going to have a conversation with them. So I released a video on Tuesday,
Hmm.
basically addressing them. Okay.
Yeah.
And I repeatedly was trying to spark more shit in the process, which worked. And I basically told them, I don't care about how they feel. I don't care about their thoughts and opinions. I don't care. You have a right to them, and I will fight for you to have that right to have them. But I don't care about them. You know,
Right.
you're no different than the Seventh-day Adventist or the Mormon that comes to my door every Saturday saying, let's talk about Jesus. No, I
Mm.
don't care about your thoughts. I don't care about your opinions. You live
Right.
your life by that book, and I will appreciate you and I will respect you for doing that because
Mhm.
that's how you live. And I will fight for you to have that. But keep your fucking mouth closed and don't push your shit on me.
Right.
And that's basically what it said in that video. Then the shitstorm came out again. Okay?
Mhm.
Attack. But this time, people realized what I was doing. And now, people have jumped into the comments to defend me and defend other people that were coming after them too. And now, inside of these comments is
Mhm.
literally hate back and forth, not just by the flat earthers, but by the people that are trying to defend me and the globe earthers, and they're infighting inside of my comments. It is redonkulous. But the whole point here is, you know, I talk shit. Okay? And I might say some things that are off color and could be construed as offensive.
Mhm.
However, listen to what I just said, can be construed as offensive.
Mhm.
If you're offended by something I say, I don't care. You're allowed to be offended. That's on you. But there's a big difference between saying something with the with the intent of offending somebody versus the intent of just shaming and bullying them.
Mhm.
And that's what these people are doing. And they're taking it to another level. And it's not just the flat earthers. I covered a story in this morning's News That Doesn't Suck about a woman in Florida who was part of the Capitol riots. And she was contacted by the FBI. And she said, I will not talk to you unless I have a lawyer present. But since I can't afford one, you need to arrest me so you can give me one for free.
Mhm.
But then turned around and said, but if you come here, I will fucking kill you because that's my Second Amendment right.
Actually, it's not. But okay.
I get that, but she said this in a TikTok video, threatening to kill police officers, federal police officers, because she doesn't want to be questioned for what she deemed was right. But then on top of that, all these other QAnon people who are calling people sheep and, you know, and misreading the Constitution about how everything after the 17th Amendment doesn't matter. It doesn't count. It's not real. Trump will be re-inaugurated on March 4th. You're a fucking idiot if you believe anything else. Your government lied to you. You're a fucking sheep. You're a fucking moron. You're an asshole. And they just keep doing this and keep digging and digging and digging and digging. And this is why this country's gone to shit. It's not about conspiracy theories. You're allowed to have your conspiracy theories. Please come up with them. They're fun to watch, and if
The
they're
government
true,
has their own conspiracy theories. Even.
correct. They're fun to watch, and they're fun to listen to. They're fun to research, and they're not affecting the moral compass of this country. If you have conspiracy theories, where the moral compass comes in is if when you start pointing the fingers and calling people out because they don't believe in your shit, and then you start a shitstorm because of it. It's getting out of hand, and this country's going to fucking shit. And I can't sit here watch this shit happen anymore. You know, these contradictory fucks that sit in the fucking office that's 45 minutes away from each of our homes, you know, like Ted Cruz. We need to fucking constantly work. We don't need to have days off. We need to push and push and push and push until we figure stuff out. No days off. Years and years and years and years and years of him saying this. And then winter storm happens, I'm going to Cancun. Or a fucking...
And then he got caught.
Yeah, and then he got caught, and he deeply regretted his decision.
He's like, "Oh, I'm coming back.
Yeah,
I was coming back all along, but I packed a whole bag."
exactly. Or that stupid fucking, Marjorie Taylor Greene and fucking, blaming the Jews for wildfires in California. What kind of people are we putting into the fucking House and the fucking Senate to run our country? And we're wondering why we go into shit, but yet all we're going to do is continue to infighting because all we do is sit there and say it's wrong. This is the worst it's ever been. I have never seen anything like this.
I feel like it could have been similar, probably, if I had to guess, around the same time as Watergate.
But there was no internet. So it was just people talking shit to each other in person through the news. They weren't coming to you, attacking you, and Yeah, but they weren't coming to you in your DMs and texting you and, you know, blasting you all over the different internets, you know. But before, they had to pay for an article, you know, to talk shit. And they weren't going to pay for different articles all across the country to talk shit unless it was a political thing. But then even then, it was only for presidency. It wasn't like, well, I'm in Denver and I'm going to print an article about some asshole in Massachusetts. It doesn't happen like that. Now it doesn't really fucking matter. Was it as bad as Watergate? I mean, theoretically it could have been, but at the same time, the same technology didn't exist, so it couldn't have been.
Yeah. Also, he resigned because he had fucking pride and sense.
Yeah. And these people, again, it's whether it's the flat earthers, whether it's QAnon, whether, you know, it's even Antifa, you know, it's all getting out of hand. You know, it's gotten to the point now to where I have to go to conservative TikTok just to see the shit that they're spouting, and therefore I know what to watch for at my front fucking door.
Yeah, you live in Virginia. It's way fucking worse in Virginia than it is in Maryland.
I don't see it here because this is a very democratic area. So we're just, you know, they're just living their lives.
Yeah.
So, but in other parts of the country, in other parts of the state, if you go further south, it's very Republican. Down like, you know, in Roanoke and Richmond and stuff like that, very, very Republican. The only reason why there's so much democracy that, you know, every year there's an election, we go blue is because of Northern Virginia.
Right.
The rest of the state is very red, but there's so many people up here, it just outweighs it.
Oh yeah, I know. So, like, I think it's gonna get better though.
I don't see
I
a
think
light.
that we voted Biden in.
I understand that, but the people are still infighting. And the thing about it is, it's only a difference of 8 million people that voted for Trump over Biden. I mean, Biden over Trump, excuse me. 8 million people, but still 74 million people voted for Trump. That's 74 million voices that are out there spouting this shit.
Well, but like what? Hold on.
And conspiracy theories and doing this and doing that and think that being racist and, you know, bigoted is okay. You know, or the people that are going around telling everybody that DC is no longer a part of the United States and Biden isn't our president, and right now we're under military rule, so watch your fucking mouth. I can do whatever the fuck I want. You know, it's like, what is going on?
Right.
I mean, I know that conspiracy theories like this have existed, but for ages, and it's been, you know, but now that it's in the forefront of it all, it's affecting people's psyches more than ever. And the finger pointing and the blame, you know, suicide rates are at an all-time high. And people don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know?
So Biden was the first president ever to win 80 million votes, and Trump only got 46.8% of the votes total. So what million did you say it was?
I thought it was 74, but it might have been 72.
No, you're right. It's 74.
Okay,
the next number is 2.
But still, 74 million people cast their vote for him. And
right, but that doesn't mean necessarily that 74 million people believe in him as vehemently as like the people who stormed the Capitol. You know what I mean?
So let's just say 1 in 5, so 20%.
Sure.
Okay.
What's 20% of 74 million?
A lot of fucking people. It's a lot of fucking people. It's like 15, 12, something like that.
That's a lot of zeros. It would be 20% of 74 million is 14,800,000.
So I was right, 15.
Yeah.
But still, that's 15 million people spouting this shit.
Right.
You know, I mean,
but like
crazy. So say 1 in 10, that's still 7 million people spouting this shit.
Right.
Even at 10%,
Did you hear that some of the people who stormed the Capitol didn't even vote?
Yeah.
But the United States population is 328 million.
I understand it, but
And
not
the
everyone's
kids,
over 18.
right? But the kids who are younger right now, I believe, are smarter than I sure was when I was their age. So I feel like it can only get better. Because like
Yeah,
they've
but
grown up with the internet.
Correct, but they're growing up with parents that are now spouting the shit and making people believe it.
Some of them are, you're right, but they're still gonna go off to
But it's not
either
even
they're gonna stay home or go off to college. The kids who go off to college are not gonna think that way.
maybe not. It all depends what college they fucking go to.
Mm-mm. No, there was a study done that like 98% or some ridiculously high number of college students are more liberal now than they ever have been before. Like once they go off to college, they become more educated, and the more educated they become, the more liberal they usually become.
So, man, so you're saying that conservatives are uneducated? Because if you're
No,
not going to
not
say,
at all. I'm saying
I'll
there was
say
a
that.
study done
I'll say it.
that if you go off to college, you generally become more liberal after going to college.
So conservatives are uneducated.
That's not what I said. But
I'm
okay.
saying it. I'm saying it. You don't have to say it. I'm saying it. I am the shit talker. But again, me generalizing the conservative base of Southern rednecks who are uneducated isn't bullying. It's straight up fucking a stereotype, and it's it's nothing else. But me calling you out and saying that you're an uneducated piece of shit, go on Slim Fast Tubby, like they've been telling me all fucking week, is straight up bullying. Big difference. Yeah. And that's where the generalization comes in. Calling people, sarcastic terms versus just straight up being ridiculously abusive are two totally different things. But again, it's the abuse right now is at an all-time high. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I don't understand where people are now getting the audacity to say shit like this. I mean, is it because Trump had the balls to say it, and now everyone thinks that they can fucking say it?
Oh, 100%.
You're probably right.
Absolutely.
But that's
because
a shame.
it wasn't like that before he started making everyone feel like it was okay for them to speak on how they believe. And they've always believed that. They just didn't feel comfortable saying it, and now they do.
And that's a problem.
That's a big problem.
Huge problem.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I really don't.
You know what? So, are you for or against more social leaning laws?
I'm not following the question.
So you know what socialism is, right?
Yes.
Okay. So are you for or against more social leaning laws, like laws that are more for the majority of people to succeed or be comfortable versus believing that everyone has to work their ass off to get to the top?
Are you saying that do I have more socialist views than non-socialist views? Is that what you're asking me?
No. Well, sure. Okay.
I mean, essentially, yeah.
We'll try that.
So,
sure.
Okay, so when it comes down to it, there's a couple things I agree with as far as socialist fronts go.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, socialized Medicaid,
right.
or healthcare.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is not so much distribution of wealth, because if you've earned it, you've earned it. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
But at the same time, when you go to countries like Italy or Sweden or other socialized areas,
mm-hmm.
how many people do you see on the roads suffering?
Right.
How many people do you see living under bridges? How many homeless people do you see panhandling at your local Walmart?
They don't have Walmarts in some of those countries. I don't
Whatever. At your local IKEA.
Grocery store.
Whatever.
Yeah.
ASCO or whatever it's called over there. Still owned by Walmart, but it's something called something different.
Sure, yeah.
But you see my point. So as far as redistribution of wealth, again, if you've earned it, you've earned it. I kind of agree with that. But at the same time, you need to be taxed more. And the thing about it is in this country, These people who are making millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars a year are able to get away with not paying taxes because of loopholes.
Oh yeah.
You can't get away with that in other countries.
No. Yeah.
So we live in a broken fucking society, straight
100.
up. Again, do I believe in everything socialist? No, because too socialist becomes communism, and we all see what's going on in China right now. I don't want any part of that.
Right.
But at the same time, socialism to an extent, people are going to pull up this video next year when I run for fucking Congress, and they're going to use this against me. But to an extent, socialism works better than our
Current system.
our current, democratic, republic, system.
Yeah.
And that's bottom line
So-
true.
I agree that with like pure socialism, there is way too many opportunities for corruption.
Correct.
I 100% agree with that.
Absolutely.
Right. But I also disagree that the way that our system is happening right now, it is not equal opportunity at all.
No, it's
It's
not.
not. It's not even. Oh, every time I can't think of the word right now. It's not equal opportunity, but it's like there's a cartoon of this where on one side, equal opportunity is everybody who's a different height gets the same like step up to see above the fence type thing.
Yeah.
But in this other one that I can't think of the name of, everybody who's a different height gets different sized steps so that they can see above the thing, because otherwise in the other one they wouldn't get to see above the thing, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So whatever that one is, like I wish everyone had a fair start in life as everyone else. That's all I'm saying. Like everybody should have medical care and dental care, because if your teeth go to shit, you can die. Like if you have an infection in your mouth, you will get septic and die.
Yeah.
Like all of these things should just be a bare necessity that we are all provided because we are human fucking beings.
Yeah. And the thing
And-
about it is, like, even if you go to like some employers, well, the government just says I have to provide health insurance. Doesn't say anything about dental or vision.
Exactly.
Stuff like that, or
those
I only hired 9 people, so I'm not going to hire that 10th person and force myself to have to or 6 people, whatever it is, that number. There's a magic number where they have to supply, so they're going to stay below that deliberately just so they don't have to give you that number. Now again, in small business, I can kind of see the point of that, but at the same time, you need to make sure that you're paying them higher wages so therefore they can afford it. But then even then, it's a catch-22. The government shouldn't have to put anybody in that situation anyway.
Exactly. Like there's so many things wrong.
There
Things
is.
wrong that
But-
I feel like it's going to be hard and take so long to dig us out of this fucking hole.
Correct. And here's a point I want to go ahead and discuss as far as this kind of stuff goes. One of the biggest bullying tactics that Republicans use when talking about socialism or aspects of socialism, because I'm saying this right now, and I will use this because I know that my constituents will use this against me next year. I do not believe in 100% socialism. I'm talking about aspects of socialism.
Right.
Saying that again, certain aspects of socialism, this is one of their things. Why should my tax money go to pay for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so specifically they use that for healthcare. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about that for a second. Say for instance,
Also, let's talk about the fact that your tax money doesn't actually go for shit because you don't pay fucking taxes. But I digress.
but we digress. Let's say for instance we're you and I are both tax-paying normal people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, by the way, most tax-paying normal people are okay with higher taxes as long as everyone's taken care of. But again, I digress.
Okay. So say for instance you and I both work a job and we're both making $50,000 a year. I'm working for company A, you're working for company B.
Yep.
Company A offers insurance for your whole family at $400 a month, just for easy math.
Mhm.
Okay, company B over here for me offers it for $500 a month.
Right.
Okay, so now I'm paying $400, you're paying $400, I'm paying $500. my copay is $40, even though I'm paying more money a month. I'm also paying higher copays.
Mhm.
You're paying $20 copays and less
Mhm.
money per month.
Mm-hmm.
Now, say for instance, I don't go to the doctor all year long.
Mm-hmm.
My $500 a month sits in limbo. You
Right.
have a heart attack. Now, you pay your $100 or $5,000 deductible, whatever it is. My $500 a month that I didn't use all year long goes to pay for you.
Right.
Now, let's go ahead and back this out.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody has insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, say for instance, we go to a socialized plan. Everyone now has insurance. And they
Mhm.
make it a certain percentage of your income. So now, say because of now there's so many people now paying into this pool, we're all paying less. So now, say for instance, we're now at $300 per month. So $100 less than you were paying before, and $200 less for me before.
Mm-hmm.
Now we don't pay copays or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
The same amount of money is going into the system, and the system is still working the exact same way.
Right.
It's just now there's more funds to appreciate everywhere. So you might end up saving money in the long run and have better health care in the process.
Yeah.
I don't understand why this isn't even a debate. No matter what you're doing, your money is going to help somebody else regardless. If
Right.
you pay taxes, 100% of that taxes is not coming back to you. It is going other places
Right.
already. So even if you're paying into a socialized Medicare system, you're already paying into a socialized healthcare system as it is, because if you don't use it all year long, somebody else is. You dumb fucks. I don't fucking understand.
I think your face is getting red.
I'm preparing for debates for a year and a
Right.
half from now.
Yeah. Got it.
God damn. It's just,
It seems so simple, doesn't it?
it does. But the thing about it is, it goes above and beyond that. Because now I'm going to get hit back from, if I said this on, Twitter or Instagram or, TikTok, I'm now going to get shit. I'm not paying for you. I don't give a fuck if it's going to be the same. I don't want this. I don't want this. You're a fucking moron. And then
You
the
know what I'm
name
gonna say?
calling happens. And that's where the problem is. Just because I disagree with you, I got to get my name called. You got to call me names. It's
I would say I don't care if you don't care, because the majority
exactly.
agrees with me. So it doesn't matter what you want.
But you see my point. It's gotten to a point now to where we're not even allowed to have a difference of opinion without people attacking us, either verbally or our family or whatever the case might be. In some cases, physically. It's getting out of hand. This country is at a place in time that we're no better right now than fucking Mother Russia. I mean, that's where it's at right now.
So do you think that it is that we have these problems because it's due to a lack of respect for each other? Like, what do you think is the reason?
I think right now it's a lack of respect for each other, as well as extraordinary loyalty to one's party. I think it is a civil war
But do you
right
think
now.
that the extraordinary loyalty to the party is a byproduct of the lack of respect?
Lack of respect at leadership level, and they're so now, they're leading by example. So do as we say, do it exactly how we're doing it here, and now you're gonna be okay because I'll protect you. But then they don't protect them.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the problem. It's just that there's no respect at the top, none at all.
Right.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Last year, when this is all going down and getting worse and worse by the month, whether it be COVID, Black Lives Matter, whether it be, mental health stuff and suicide rates and all this other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
as all this stuff was going down,
Mm-hmm.
up at the House and up at the Senate and up at the White Place, all of these things that were going on were blind because all they cared about was their election campaign.
Right.
And who was right and who was wrong and who's to blame. They weren't
Yeah.
worrying about how to fix it.
Yeah.
Here's a bunch of money. $2,000, whatever it was. That should take care of it, and now leave us the fuck alone. We have a campaign to run.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt like.
Because that's what it was.
Exactly. And that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Absolute fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
This country is now almost, I think it's at 500,000 people have died of COVID, you know, but then on top of that, how many other people died from cabin fever because they committed suicide because they got stuck inside the house? How many people, you know, got further and further in debt and committed suicide? You know, and now we're going to have to cover that debt with our taxes. You know, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's this whole, the circle of life that we have now developed in this country. I've never in my million, you know, in a million years would I have thought we would ever be like this. And this is sad.
Same. Yeah, same.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I hope.
I'm
I
sad
think-
right now. I'm sad for the state of this country right now. Sad.
I think that Biden and Harris both are very respectable people. And I think that they respect other people as well. And so I think that with them, it could get better, providing that it stays on that path after they're gone. Like the next person that gets voted in needs to be voted in because they're a respectable human being that treats other human beings with just as much respect as everyone else.
No, because this is what's going to happen. Okay. If another Democrat gets in, maybe. Okay. You might be right. However, what's going to happen is, say, for instance, in 4 years, Biden doesn't win re-election, or in 8 years, he's got to go anyway. If a Republican goes in 4 or 8 years from now, what they're going to do is...
He served 2 terms?
Who?
Because of the vice presidency?
No, that doesn't count.
Okay.
No, because he served 2 terms as vice president. So if that doesn't matter. You have to be a sitting president.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
When the next Republican goes into office, if it is in the next 4 or 8 years, what's going to happen is they're going to retaliate against everything that he did in his first couple weeks, where he signed all those executive orders. They're going to go back and say, "Oh, I didn't like that. I'm going to go ahead and redo. You know,
Right.
cancel. Here's 100 executive orders canceling out everything Biden did."
Which is what Biden did when
Correct.
he came in.
So what he did was
fine.
no better than. I mean,
he didn't do it in a bullying way. Like
he
when
didn't.
he was.
But I can see. But hold on, I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm not saying what he did was wrong. What I'm
Right,
saying
I know.
is I can see why people are critical of it. Because instead of trying to, you know, push it through the Senate and the House and try and do it, you know, other ways, he just automatically started signing things saying this is how it's going to be. So I can kind of see where people have critics, you know, critiques of it. Whether I agree with it or not, no.
Right.
I'm just saying I can see their point. And
I agree.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can see their point. So because I can understand their point, I can also see them doing the exact same thing again.
For sure.
In reverse.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but again, at the same time, whether I agree with what Biden did in the first couple weeks of office versus what, you know, the next president's going to do in the next couple weeks of office, you know, his first couple weeks of office, it's moot, because the thing about it is he's doing what he thinks is right. I think the next time it happens, it'll be in retaliation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So quick question. I saw something where all I did was read the headline. So I don't know what's going on, but did you read anything about Biden not wanting to wipe out student debt or something?
Yes.
It was like $500,000, I think, which by the way,
50,000.
Yeah, 50,000, even better. Which, by the way, is not fucking shit.
Correct. But what he was saying was, I think I'd have to go back and read it again, because I didn't cover this in news that doesn't suck, because it's a long story and it's too convoluted, and I don't like diving too much into those types of politics on news that doesn't suck. I just like pointing out hypocrisies and making fun of people. So that's what I do.
Did you talk about the guy that got fired in Texas?
Oh well, he quit. But I digress. But either way,
He should have gotten fired.
I did talk about him. But anyway,
Okay.
So Biden originally was gonna do 15 or 20 or 10, somewhere around there, in an executive order to wipe that out, and push the forbearance until end of this year for student loan debt, or something along those lines. I'm not 100% accurate on that, so don't sit there and say he didn't say that. I'm not 100% accurate. But what ended up happening was he didn't end up doing that. He extended the forbearance period for student loans, but he didn't write any amount in to forgive because everyone was debating, telling him, "Hey, do 50,000." He thought exactly what I was just saying. People would be pissed off that an executive order automatically wrote away $50,000 worth of debt for every person with student loan debt in this country.
Oh, it was for every person
that had federal student loan debt.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes. So that is what. So he did not want to be he was like, if you guys want to do this in the House and the Senate, I will support it and I will approve it.
Yeah.
But for me to do that, it's too much. It's too much. It'll put a damper on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a lot of fucking federal funds that he was just going to wipe away, and that would not have looked good on him. So that's why that is. Now, should he have done it? I don't think he should have, because I think he's right. That is a lot. That is a lot of fucking money.
Right.
To just completely wipe away clean.
Right.
And not catch flack for.
Yeah.
In theory, I mean, would it be good for the country? Probably. Would it help, people? Absolutely. But at the same time, it would not be smart politically for his career. So I get why he didn't do it. But at the same time, on a respect level for the rest of the country and the House and the Senate, I admire him not doing that. Because it could help the economy, but at the same time, it could take a huge, massive hit to the economy as well. So it needs to be better planned out than him just swiping a pen saying. So that's where that kind of comes in.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that was a smart move on his part not to do so.
Right.
Yeah, because it was everybody that had federal student loan debt.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have federal student loan debt, it wouldn't have affected you. But at the same time, how many people have federal student loan debt?
I don't know how many. But it's
lots. And 50,000, just completely wiped away from everybody.
Right.
There would have been a shitstorm from Republicans and Democrats. I don't think it would have been one party versus it would have been a combination of the two. People would have been pissed across the board.
Yeah.
So I completely understand and agree with why he didn't do it.
Right.
But again, I'm just at a loss right now for the amount of shit that is going on in this country, and it's being allowed to happen.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of shit that have like to me, the fact that we don't have stricter gun laws yet after multiple school shootings is shit that has been allowed to happen. And I can't believe that shit either. So
again, goes back to bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Because
part of it,
of that giant fucking building on 66 that sits in Fairfax County.
Right.
Constantly, threatening to do this and threatening to do that, and them all going, "Oh no, the NRA says we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should listen." I don't give a fuck about you. I don't care. I don't fucking care.
Have you heard that song?
Huh?
I don't fuck with you. I love that song. And I honestly just love that song because of the one scene in that movie.
That one
in.
movie, yeah.
Yes.
Whatever it's called, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. People are, afraid of the NRA. And it's bullshit. Or the people are afraid that, this or that, oh, well, they're not going to give me money for my campaign, or they're not going to give me money for this, or, this backhanded deal that I have that nobody knows about. They're not going to support that anymore. So I got to make sure I take care of them. And
you know what made me happy?
What's that?
So I guess Biden did an interview where they point blank asked him, they said, "Are you going to take people's guns?" Like, that was the question. And he was like, "You're damn right." It's just like, he's like, "If you have a semi-automatic weapon and you don't need it and you don't register it properly, you're damn right we are." And I was like,
Well, he's sarcastic and upfront, but one
Joe.
of my favorite things that he did was a while when his first or second week in office, he had a conversation with Putin on the phone, and one of the reporters said, "Hey, what did you and Putin talk about?" And he looks at him and goes, "You." He walked away. That was all he said. And I like that, but at the same time, it again, that's all fine and dandy. I'm enjoying the somewhat progress that's being made.
Yeah.
But it's all being undermined by assholes like Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and all the QAnon followers and fuckboys in this fucking, I'm not going to call them Proud Boys, they're fuckboys, throughout this entire country that are demeaning our country and demeaning the police. With that being said, isn't the Republican Party the party of law and order? But yet, they're like, fuck the police. They're all like Ice-T in the 90s saying, cop killer! And, they're all like, whatever. And
Well, because they don't believe in anything after the 17th Amendment in the Constitution.
But they were fine with it up until the point where Trump didn't get reelected.
Because they're making up their own shit.
I know.
They're making up shit as they go along.
They really are. Because the thing about it is, the thing that gets me the most, and I'm not the first person to say this, so I'm not claiming credit for it, but like, two things. Number one, Trump was inaugurated on January 20th in 2017. So how was he president but not Trump? I mean, not Biden, number one. Number two, the other thing was because the White House is surrounded by a fence now, it's no longer part of this country. It's now foreign soil. Well, that same fence that was there when Trump was there is there still when Biden's there. How is it any fucking different? I don't understand these people. And yet these people are spouting lies and threatening people because of these lies. And that's, again, it's diminishing our country. It has nothing to do with one of the commenters in my fucking posts said, me saying conspiracy theories is contributing to the moral, is ruining the moral fiber of this country, is Soviet Russia bullshit. And I said, wait a second. I never said that conspiracy theories I said your conspiracy theories that you continue to spout and threaten people over ruin the moral fiber of this country. It goes back to, again, the whole, religious argument. I don't care about your beliefs. You're allowed to have your beliefs. Just keep them over there. Don't push them on me. So you're allowed to have your conspiracy theories. If you want to think that, the U.S. government did 9/11, okay, cool. If you want to think, mass shootings at Columbine and all these other ones never happened, fine. But where I have a problem is when I said that I lost friends, at Pulse. Them coming on and say, don't lie, you didn't lose anybody. Fucker, I didn't. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It is. That's where I'm having the problem. You can have your conspiracy theories saying that these things never happened. But don't come on here and start accusing me of shit. Don't come on here accusing me of spreading conspiracies or lying or whatever the case might be. You don't fucking know me, and I bet you a damn fucking dollar they won't come to my goddamn door.
That's what they're saying about COVID too. Is like, oh, like in the beginning they were like, I don't even know anybody who's had it. I don't even know anybody who's lost anybody who's had it. Like,
then you're not fucking opening their goddamn eyes.
And then I'm not talking shit because 9 days out of 10, I like this family member. But like our 103-year-old grandmother died and had COVID when she died because they chose to go to a gathering as a family during all this. And
Thanksgiving, right?
yeah, I think so. And they're saying that she shouldn't have been counted as a COVID death. And I'm like, but she was 103. and didn't die until she got COVID. She was 103, bro. She was still alive and kicking until she got COVID. She
But-
was up walking around. She was still confused. Don't get me wrong. She was on her way, but she could have had a whole other year at least without COVID.
But Kat, over in Europe, Europe's oldest citizen is 117 years old, and she's a nun, and she got COVID, and she survived.
Great. She was clearly in a stronger position than my grandmother was.
I know.
Like I said,
I'm just
don't get me
giving you.
wrong.
I'm just talking about what people would say to
What
you.
they would say. I know. I get that. And this is my rebuttal. Like, that's great. I'm glad for her. But and like I said, my grandmother was already in a her health was not of the best because she was 103. But that's there are people who say that they shouldn't count deaths like that as COVID deaths because it was the underlying condition that they had before they died that caused them to die. It wasn't COVID. And I'm like, that is such ass backwards thinking. I can't even.
Okay.
I can't even.
Now hold on a second. I can kind of see that point because say for instance you have stage 4 lung cancer and you come down with pneumonia. You don't get listed as a pneumonia death. You get listed as a death of stage 4 cancer, complications caused by pneumonia or whatever. It's not directly pneumonia related. You follow what I'm saying? They word it differently.
I've never seen that. I do believe that they do count it as a pneumonia death. I'm not positive.
I don't believe so. I think it's complications due to stage 4 lung cancer, or it's something along those lines. They word it differently. They don't claim it's 100% pneumonia because the pneumonia might not kill you if you didn't have stage 4 lung cancer.
Right.
So I don't think that's how they.
So are they? So are they not writing like stage 4 lung cancer complications because of COVID, or are they just flat out saying COVID killed this person? Period.
I've heard that they're just saying COVID killed those people, but I'm not 100% sure. See, again, that's all. That's all
interesting. Like
that's
death
all conspiracy
certificates as a whole.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. Like, how regulated are those things? Like, who double checks them? You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I've heard conspiracy theories saying that, this guy died of unknown causes, just call it COVID.
Yeah,
I've heard that too. So I mean, I don't know. We'd have to get an actual medical professional on the show to ask him those types of questions. But I mean, it's a good question. I don't know. So like I said, I believe that if they have lung cancer and die of pneumonia, I believe they call it a cancer-related death or something along. They don't, like I said, they don't call it straight up pneumonia death. So I can kind of see the point there. But what was the other issues that your grandmother had before she passed away?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I heard something about congestive heart failure. May have been something that was going on during that time. But I can't confirm or deny. Like, I wasn't at any of her doctor's appointments. I don't know who was.
Yeah. So I mean, the congestive heart failure could have been, worsened by the COVID.
Oh, 1,000%. It
Correct.
was.
Correct. So,
and I believe that that's something that they told us after the fact.
Correct.
But I don't know.
So, but it wasn't directly COVID related. It was a combination of the two. They couldn't handle each other.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So I
looked.
Okay, go ahead.
So I Googled death certificates. Okay. And at least for the state of Utah, because that's the one I'm looking at right now, it says immediate cause A, bilateral bronchopneumonia due to chronic asthma. And then there's even a second place where you can say due to on this one. So I feel like they can't just write coronavirus unless it was actually like they had no underlying conditions. You know what I mean?
And that's what I was trying to say. I think that it's pneumonia due to, or stage 4 lung cancer due to pneumonia, or they write it a certain way.
Right.
So I think it's listed both, some which way, shape, or form. It's not listed as one or the other. It's listed as both, or it's written a certain way. It all depends. And but like you said, it could depend on the state too. It's not. I don't think it's a federally mandated thing.
So there's another thing here, another one that I looked up, and it says cause of death: acute respiratory distress syndrome, 2 days; pneumonia, 10 days; due to COVID-19, 10 days. So I mean, like, they even write out like how many days everything occurred before death.
Correct. Yeah.
Acute respiratory illness, 1 day; probable COVID-19, 5 days.
Yeah.
Now, probable COVID-19,
I don't like
that's
that.
an issue.
Yeah,
I don't like that either.
I don't like that either. Yeah.
No, that's bullshit. Like, there are fucking tests. There should not be probable anything unless it's probable fucking murder. Like,
Yeah, I just think, even something as small as that right now, debating on whether or not your grandmother died of this or that is complete, moronicness, idiocy. It's stupid. Your grandmother died. She had COVID. Does it matter if she had congestive heart failure or not? No. Does it matter if she had cancer or pneumonia along with it? No. She had COVID. She died. It worsened her already exacerbated her already current symptoms and made her die. Can we just leave it at that? No. We can't, because we have to fucking point fingers and say, oh, that's just not real. And we're always just constantly digging into these conspiracy theories because, again, like the sheep that we all are doing this. It's not one party or the other. We're all fucking sheep. We're all going bah in the streets, okay? I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. Right now, we don't know what to believe, and we're clinging on to anything we can find. So that makes us all fucking sheep. I don't care if you're QAnon or not. If you're QAnon, then obviously you are fucking sheep, because you're believing everything that fucking comes out of Trump's mouth. But that's not the point. The point is, shut the fuck up and goddamn hold each other's hands and just sing Kumbaya fucking ya and try to fix this goddamn place.
Right?
Goddamn, how hard is it to fucking believe? I don't care who wins at this point. If it's red or blue, I don't care. I don't care who wins. What I want to see happen is just everyone come together and say, something's broken here. Can we just fix it together?
Yeah.
I don't care who wins. I don't.
I don't either. So there was I'm just, in doing more research, there was, I guess Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was pissed off and went to...
Governor serial killer, but yes.
What?
Governor serial killer, but yes, go ahead.
Why is he a serial killer?
Because that's the only state that's completely open and has, running rampant right now, and, putting, COVID fucking... Oh. He's killing people. He's killing people.
100.
Straight up.
Okay, so he's the one.
He's a fuck.
I don't know. I don't know if he came out, like, I don't know where... Oh, the local CBS affiliate followed up on this report and asked the chief medical examiner about the case. The medical examiner responded that following the motorcycle crash, the person was subsequently hospitalized for a long period of time, got pneumonia. It happened to be COVID pneumonia, and they died. Okay, because this governor brought a death certificate, like, as evidence that says on it, but Florida, okay, in comparison to the other states' death certificates that I just saw, Florida's is fucking stupid anyway, because the only thing that it says here is age, cause of death, married, single, widowed, divorced, date of death, date recorded, right? So the cause of death on this one doesn't even have a place for you to say cause of death due to blah, 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 right?
Yeah, Florida's stupid in general.
So therefore, all that the medical examiner could possibly put in cause of death was motorcycle accident / COVID-19, because technically he did die because of COVID-19 because he caught pneumonia in the hospital after going through a motorcycle accident.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
But again, like, you can't
with
say
context, it makes sense. But like,
you can't trust Florida. You can't trust Florida. Florida's
no. Fuck no.
They're worse than they're the worst. I mean, God. I mean, we're also talking about the same fucking governor that right now is out there putting, COVID-19, vaccination tents in the most rich white areas in all of the state.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
you know what he said? If you don't like it, then I'll just stop doing vaccinations.
Are you serious?
Dead ass serious.
Wow.
This guy is a straight up murderer. I don't care what anyone
Right.
says. He's killing people.
Yeah.
The state is completely wide open. They're not enforcing mask laws. I mean, they're all saying, well, it's a mandate. It's not a law, so you can't make me do it. There's some places in Florida that have, that are, restaurants and grocery stores saying no masks required. Come on in.
Right.
They have more variants going on in Florida right now than any other state. But,
Yeah.
it's not real. I digress. Because apparently Florida knows better than every fucking body else.
Right. Yeah, everything else that I'm seeing here says complications of COVID-19. Like there's something that says Alzheimer's. And yes, if you have Alzheimer's, you're more susceptible to die of COVID-19. That's just how it fucking works. Like
your
if you
brain's not
have an
working
underlying
anyway.
disease,
Yeah,
you're more likely to die than a healthy person.
correct.
Which by the way is the case for also pneumonia and multiple other fucking diseases that anyone can catch.
Yeah,
So whatever.
but it's getting, again, this is just crazy.
Yep.
It's absolute batshit insanity.
It is.
I again, at this point, it's not about the Republicans winning or the Democrats winning or the independents or, the Tea Party or whatever, the libertarians. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you win or lose at this point. Because right now, the American people are losing, and we need to fucking, hold hands and join together and fix this goddamn place because it's just getting out of hand. And what the fuck are you doing?
Waiting to see how long it would take you to say something.
I was in the middle of a rant, and I was staring at you, going, "Oh my god, what is wrong with her?" And I'm sitting there, trying to focus on my rant.
I know you said listening. Listening.
Listening.
That's what you said. Listening.
I get distracted easily. I have ADHD.
I
Look, a squirrel. But
yeah, I was distracting you because I have to go to the bathroom now and I need to get off and I'm hungry.
That's fine. I
You
was
can
done
continue.
anyway because I'm doing is ranting and raving anyway.
I know.
But you see my point. Can we
do.
Can we all just get along?
Right?
Rodney,
Please?
let's Rodney King this bitch. Let's get along.
Okay.
But thanks, guys. We appreciate it. We'll be back again next week, as every Friday, noon East, 9 West. Suck it recap show. But we love you guys. Stay happy. Stay healthy. And as always, stay heavy. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.